Welcome back. A new survey from Bank of America found that 16% of millennials have savings of more than $100,000. Unbelievable, right?
What do these young people know that we don't? How can we sock away some wealth? Rebeca Walser is a tax attorney and financial advisor. She's the author of this book, Wealth Unbroken. It's a book on retirement planning, and she joins us now with some smart money tips on how you can save more for your future. First and foremost, is this true about the millennials?
Shocking, right? It's actually shocking to me even, and I can't believe it. Yeah, that, you know, over half or nearly half of millennials have at least 15,000 savings, and apparently more of them are saving for retirement than Gen Xers and baby boomers, which are on the verge of retirement.
I think it's because they're living at home.
Honestly,
well, I do.
Bob.
Yeah, they don't have to pay a mortgage, they don't have to pay rent,
yeah,
right?
That's one of the tips.
Sure.
That's right.
Okay, well, you mentioned retirement,
yeah.
and it used to be that we should save $1 million.
Yes.
To live comfortably in retirement.
Yeah.
And now that's been up, you say, to $1.5 million.
Well, the problem is we are thinking in terms of when that came about, and really all this conventional wisdom, which I write a lot about, it's not exactly going to help you get there. It came about in the 80s when we didn't have the debt that we have. We don't have the, the baby boomers retiring. If you're looking at, saving in a 401k and taking it out 20 years from now, I think from a tax perspective, that's an ugly picture. So I like to take to the match and then move on. Roth is a great alternative. A tax-free environment is a great place to be in 2018 America.
Because a lot of these things are going away. People don't have the pensions anymore.
Exactly.
So people need to start thinking about it.
It's on your shoulders. And so that's why we talk about $1.5 million, because you're going to have a lot more Medicare cost shifting that you're going to have to take care of. You're living longer with inflation, with all of these things. $1 million is not going to go as far as $1 million has used to going in the past.
Okay, we have some basic tips that we want to talk about.
Yeah.
I believe we have 5 of them. And the first one is simple. Calculate your budget.
Yeah,
what does that mean?
Calculate your budget. It's amazing. Most Americans do not have a budget on paper. What are you actually spending? Every time I meet with somebody, I'm like, okay, how much do we need to live? How much are you spending on an annual basis? What is your lifestyle level? I ask them, and they're like, oh,
a lot.
I don't know that answer.
How much are you spending on Starbucks?
Exactly.
Right.
And discretionary spending is where we can really make a massive dent in the retirement future and the wealth building picture. So you have to have a budget. You have to know what you're spending.
Okay, it says set up an automatic savings deposit.
Yeah, so a lot of people like getting the big tax refund from the IRS every year in April or before if they're getting a refund. That's really the government taking more than they should, and then you getting your own money back. Instead of doing that, get your withholdings pretty accurate, and then just transfer money automatically from checking to savings every month soon after you get your paycheck, so that you know that you're doing it on a consistent basis.
This is very surprising. Skip direct deposit?
You know, it's so funny because I talk to kids, parents with kids, and I'm like, listen, you need to have them count the dollars, get the dollars. When we get these electronic deposits, I know we're in an electronic world and that's where we're headed, but when you physically get a paycheck, even if you just do it one time, get a physical paycheck, take it to the bank, get it in cash, and like put it on your table, and divide it into piles, housing, car, and then what I have left. And you get to physically see a picture of what you're doing with your money.
That's very smart.
It's a lot harder to spend $20 when you're actually spending $20 or $40 in cash than it is with your little card.
It is. It's so hard.
That.
Cash is hard to get rid of. It's like, oh, do I really want to? Yeah. It's like, whereas the card is just like, oh, whatever.
It is mental. All right, you say don't shop when stressed.
Emotional shopping is like emotional eating. If that's your go-to instead of eating, I'm not trying to tell you not to do that, but let's have a budget. If we have a budget and we know what we can spend, and if we're emotional or not, then we're fine. But going there in a stressed environment you will overspend if you're emotionally stressed.
Just to make yourself feel better, essentially.
Absolutely.
Right?
I mean, yeah, the new dress feels good, right?
Yeah.
Or suit.
I say going out to dinner.
Then you have buyer's
going out to dinner
remorse.
with stress is also not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. The drinks are
emotional
flowing.
eating.
And you mentioned this a little bit about how easy it is to spend when you don't have cash.
Right.
So leave your credit card at home.
Yeah, again, that picture on the table of getting that check in cash and dividing it out and then physically having the cash, if you're taking that cash and that's all you're spending, it's a lot easier to stay within your means than to say, oh, you know what, I can pay this off next month or next year or next 2 years.
What's the #1 thing that people are doing, are making a mistake on in terms of not being able to save enough money for their retirement?
It's sad and it's serious, but we are so underfunded on our own responsibility for our retirement. We have a $7 to $14 trillion personal retirement wealth gap, meaning that you're living a lifestyle up here everything is now, everything is great, and you're literally not saving for your future self and your future self's lifestyle. When you stop working and those dollars start coming in, you are way down here. So most Americans just need to look at every dollar they get as paying two people: your current self, current lifestyle, and your future self. And don't let that guy get the shaft, because he's going to be really mad if he does.
So some new tax laws went into play this year, and people are going to be getting some money back.
Yep.
What do you advise they do with that extra money?
Well, again, to calculate that budget, and if you're not putting enough aside, which most people we know aren't, although the millennials are doing better, it sounds great, right? Definitely look at making sure the future self is getting a nice chunk. And 10% is not going to cut it anymore. You need to be closer to 25% to make sure that you're maintaining lifestyle, because we're just living so rich these days. And if you want to continue that in retirement, you're going to need to take about 25% of your check to do it.
I look at it as it's like, you know, money that you didn't have before, so why not put it away, save it, or cut down on that darn credit card debt that everyone has.
That's right. That's right.
If you want to learn more, talk to Rebecca. You can meet her tonight at the Beverly Wilshire Hotel. That's at 6:30. She's going to be doing a book signing and tax tips there. Again, this is tonight at 6:30. All the details are on our website. That's foxla.com, and you also have your own website, walserwealth.com.
Sure do. Thank you.
Thank you.